CBS North Carolina's Derrick Lewis has been in Durham all day and in constant contact with Durham Mayor Bill Bell. Derrick joins us live right now. And Derrick, what is the mayor saying about some of the tweets we saw coming from city officials today?
Well, Sharon, most of our conversation was about city officials sending out information that neither he nor we could verify. He says as an elected official, it is important to send out factual information. At 9:45 this morning, Durham City Councilwoman Jillian Johnson tweeted, "White supremacists are marching at the new courthouse in Durham at noon today." Shortly after noon, this was the scene. Protesters gathered, but counter-protesters were not in sight. Mayor Bill Bell says it was a rumor.
Well, as far as I know, they're rumors. Now, I'm not saying that people might come. And when I'm talking about people, you're talking about the KKK and et cetera. But as far as we know, we didn't have anything of fact that they were coming. And I said they may very well show up, but we don't have anything that was based on fact that they would be here.
I wanted to know what the mayor thought about city officials tweeting information that has not been verified. He says he's not responsible for what his colleagues do, but as being an elected official comes with responsibility.
People have to be responsible for whatever they say. I'm responsible for what I say, and others have to be responsible for what they say.
The mayor met with the police chief, sheriff, and city manager today after word spread that white supremacists would be marching through Durham. Although that information went out to the public, he says he did not see any signs of it.
I think anytime you're in an elected position, a leadership position, what you say should be factual as much as you can. If it's not factual, you shouldn't say it. And if you find out there's something different, then I think you should come back and tell people that, you know, it isn't what I thought it was initially.
And Jillian Johnson also tweeted out that armed white supremacists were spotted downtown. When we asked her about that, she stood by what she said. Live in Durham, I'm Derrick Lewis, CBS North Carolina.
Derrick, thank you. And today's rally came just hours after several protesters charged in connection to the tearing down the Confederate statue in Durham made their appearance in court. The last 4 of the 8 arrested sat side by side in court today. Scott Holmes, the attorney for the protesters, say they've been getting death threats since that statue was pulled down on Monday.
By phone, by social media, by email. It also appears that folks are calling in false charges against them to police, who are then having to investigate. And so there's a variety of ways in which they're already being harassed.
The first person charged in the incident went before a judge Wednesday. The other 3 were in the courtroom yesterday.
The Durham County District Attorney holding a news conference this afternoon addressing the charges for the destruction of the Confederate monument. Roger Eccles says a resolution must include balancing accountability for the destruction of property with the climate in which the actions were taken.
Justice requires that I must take into account the pain of recent events in Charlottesville and the pain in Durham and the nation. Justice requires that I consider that Durham citizens have no proper recourse for asking our local government to relocate or remove this monument.
Eccles says the people who participated in the protest but were not directly involved in destroying the monument will not be charged. In response to today's march, North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stein released a statement. He says, quote, "People are peacefully protesting in support of equality and justice. Like them, I believe that racism and white supremacy are wrong. We have more work to do to live up to the ideal of equality, and I join those who are committed to making this ideal a reality for all Americans." The NAACP has also announced its plans to hold a news conference tomorrow in Durham in response to hate groups, to address the violence in Charlottesville, and comment on the display of Confederate statues across the nation.